Hey guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today we're going to be doing a super fun VR to my bestie, my cosmic sis over in Belgium, Steph from Journal du Femme Moderne à Spirituelle Steph, and she created a fun tag called #onedeckforeachsign. So of the 12 Western zodiac signs, she came up with a keyword or keywords to represent each sign. Now in her original video, which I will link down below, she said this, obviously it was overly simplified. You know, it doesn't mean one keyword encompasses everything that that sign is about. She more did it so it'd be easier for us to be able to choose a deck that pretty much embodies at least some of the energy of each of the 12 zodiac signs. So she has a keyword for Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. So I have 12 decks over here. Let's go ahead and take a look at them. All right, here we go. Starting off with Aries. Her keywords were rebel and spontaneous. And for that, I have the Rebel deck. I mean, I had to. So the Rebel deck is known for its naughty language, and it's more of a oracle deck slash, I don't know, you can maybe do some journal prompting, but this one, it says get over yourself, pull your shit together, and on the back, help people, give back, do good shit for humanity. So it gives you like a little bit more. But I've had this deck for a while, and I always find that it's just super fun, especially when I'm using it in conjunction with my tarot cards. Sometimes I use it as a theme, you know, of a particular spread that I'm doing, and sometimes I do it for a card of the day. Like, let's see, if I were to pull today's card of the day, it would be stop effing whining. And on the back, no one wants to listen to that. Complaining makes you weak. You have the strength to change your world, so do it. I love it's in your face, matter of fact. This is how it is. And for a lot of people, this deck is triggering. You know, some people are just really sensitive to foul language, but some people don't like their shadows thrown back into their face and be like, that's not my fault. And, you know, sometimes we do have to take the responsibility that a lot of our relationships and things that happen to us are 50% our energy, you know, and 50% another person's energy. So I love it. I don't mind my shadows being thrown at me. I mean, my ego kind of flares up, but I do calm down and listen. Okay, so this is definitely one for the Aries here. Rebel and spontaneous. Okay, moving on to the next deck. This is Taurus, grounded and earthy. And I thought, of course, the first deck that comes to mind, Pagan Otherworlds. This is, I mean, I have a lot of earthy decks, but this is, for me, dude, super grounded and earthy. I mean, there are parts of it, I guess, that could be more in the etheric realm, but with its coloring and the artwork, you know, the browns and the greens, I just find this has a very stable, grounded energy. So perfect for our little Taurians out there. Also, fun side note, whoops, some of these cards are upside down. One of my other best friends, he is a Taurus. And actually, almost his entire family, he's got 4 boys who are my godsons. And just about almost all of them, all some earthy energy there. And his wife, also very earthy, so I guess, you know, this deck would be pretty much them. They're 2 feet planted firmly on the ground. Yeah, and this is, I think, the first deck I spent like a little bit more money on than normal. So this was a big purchase for me back in the day. Still got that beautiful linen finish to it. If you are interested in looking at a review of any of the decks that I'm showing you today, check out my deck review playlist. I have literally hundreds of decks on there, and I can guarantee that I pretty much have a review for every deck that I'm going to be showing you today. All right, so again, this was for Taurus, grounded, earthy energy. And going on into probably, I mean, the best sign in all the zodiac, Gemini. Maybe I'm biased because I'm a Gemini. But the keyword is duality. And for that, I have Tarot of Oppositions. I mean, if this box doesn't scream duality. I mean, sometimes Geminis, we get a bad rap for being what seems a little sometimes, but that's just our fun nature. We keep people guessing. You know, I could be light, I could be dark. I could be crying one minute, laughing the next. It's just having fun with emotions. It's all funsies over here. But what's unique about this deck, like let's say this one, these oppositions, you could look at things through this particular lens when looking at the Six of Swords, or maybe you can look at it through this particular lens. It's kind of like the cup half empty, half full with this deck, and it's all based on number one, it is the Rider-Waite-Smith, but it's also poking at your shadows. You know, because our shadows, our background, our upbringing, our experiences really do color how we see the world, and nobody sees the world exactly the same. You know, I could look at a flower and I'd be feeling, thinking, seeing certain things as I'm looking at it. Somebody else next to me who also can point out, yes, I see that pink flower, could be experiencing it in a whole different way. And that's something that I think Gemini is really good at teaching people, as well as this deck. So Tarot of Oppositions, perfect for my little Gemini homies out there. Fist bump for the Geminis. Boop, boop. Okay. Okay, moving right along. We're going on into Cancer. And Cancer is known for their sensitivity. So that is the keyword, sensitivity. Remember, this is overly simplified keywords of each of the zodiac signs. But for that, I have pulled out my Beyond Lemuria Oracle cards. This was actually a deck that was a gift from James. But I find that it has a very gentle, very colorful, etheric, just high vibing, joy, nature. And I believe that it delivers its messages in a way that is very disarming, you know, so that the messages, the energy can come through and so that you can heal. I know that there are other decks out there that are very jarring, that can do very much the same thing, but sometimes we may not be in an energy where we're ready to receive messages in that way. Sometimes we're in a more gentle state, fragile state. And so although we still need certain messages, we still need to heal, I feel that a deck like this, it being rather sensitive, will allow you to be more open to that healing and those messages. I mean, look at the artwork. It's gorgeous. I, of course, did a review of this deck. I love to bust this out from time to time. So there you go. That is Cancer sensitivity found in Beyond Lemuria. All right. Okay. And next on the list here, we have Leo, solar, light. That was a no-brainer. Bam, my soul deck, Star Power Tarot. This one just exudes solar plexus, light, a fierceness. It doesn't hold back in any way. It's loud. It delivers the messages straight to the heart. Now, this being my soul deck, sometimes, you know, when I'm like, you know what, I have too much ego in the way. Just give it to me straight. Just give it to me straight. And this is the deck I go to because of that Leo-like energy, that solar energy, that light energy, is because it's like, bam, you know, without any prejudice, like here's what's going on, you know, and if you would like to heal, then here's how you could do it. You know, they don't sugarcoat, but it's not taunting either. It's not slapping you in the face. It's more like, hey babe, you got to get your head out of your backside, and this is why, and this is what it's causing when you do that. So, big fan of Charlie Quintero. So there you go. That is the Star Power Tarot. Actually just did a review of her newest deck, the Mars Power Tarot. So if you want to check that out, that is also on my deck review playlist. Okay, moving right along to Virgo. So like I said, that's actually my best friend's wife's astrological sign. She is a Virgo, and the keywords are precision and perfection. So the deck I busted out is actually a Kipper deck, and this is the Card Geeks Kipper deck, and it's only the only Kipper I own. But the images, obviously very clear, very precise. The way in which one reads Kipper is very structured, very clear, very precise. And so I thought this went very well with the astrological sign Virgo. It's also the way I see, like, well, my mom's a Virgo as well, but my best friend's wife, you know, Tamika, she's, you know, things have to be a certain way. She sees them very clearly laid out in her mind, and she would like that to be placed into the external world. Like, why do you not see things my way? Things must be very clean, very clear. You know, she is not one for clutter or mess, and I think that Kipper is really good for that too, because it's okay, you know, there's certain ways of laying out the cards, there's certain connectors and stop cards and, you know, people cards and things like that, and it's just a very clear structural way of reading. So there you go, that is the Card Geeks Kipper, and I am subscribed to the Card Geek on YouTube, so you may want to check her out. All right, so there we go. That is Virgo. Moving on to Libra, which is my moon sign actually, and Libra is about harmony and justice. Okay, so for that I am bringing out the Naked Heart Tarot. This is also one that I've had for a while. This is actually the mass-produced version. I know that there was a indie version at some point, but I got this one a few years back. And this has it's a beautiful focal point on these images. I feel that they're very balanced, you know, between light and dark, heavier images and heavier messages and lighter messages. I feel that it just has a fabulous balance to it. You know, the way it reads, I don't feel like any card is heavier than another card, or its messages are heavier, its imagery heavier. And I think that it also has a good balance between art and space. And also the color, loving the balance of color. You know, here we have full color and a much more singular color. Do apologize for the leaf blower in the background. They get a little cray-cray on Mondays, and they like to blow their leaf blowers at my door for some reason, and my window. Anyway, so this is the Naked Heart Tarot, you guys. I definitely know that I have a review of this, so go check it out. Very balanced, full of harmony, and delivering justice. Okay, let's move on to Scorpio. It appears I have more Scorpios in my life than I thought I did. And number one, James is a Scorpio. So for Scorpio, the keywords are who stings and who defends. And for that one, I've pulled out my Dark Mirror Oracle. This is a deck that I bust out when I definitely need to do some shadow work, or something has triggered my ego and I want to get a clear look at where inside of me I need to heal. Where is this actually stemming from? It may not be the actual event, but this is really good at going within. I find the images to be fabulous, but also what's going on in the guidebook is also excellent. So again, like I said, sorry for the leaf blower. He's literally standing 2 feet away from me outside the window. He's like just blowing at the window. It's rather strange. See, that triggers my shadows. I could pull something from this deck. Hey, let's do that. Why am I so triggered by loud noises like the leaf blower? People who are blasting my window? Today for tomorrow. Okay, so maybe it's because, there are things that I'm doing today that I would like to get done for tomorrow. Maybe it's because I'm not fully living in the present, because I'm more focused on like, oh, gotta get this done. So it's more living in the future than I am in the present. And so because of the things I wish to complete in the future, I am having trouble concentrating when certain loud noises are happening in the present. Very interesting. Okay, so that is for our Scorpio homies out there. Next, we go into Sagittarius. Who dares? All right, so a deck that dares. And at the top of the list there, I pulled the Wild Kuan Yin Oracle, because this one is all about being daring. This is all about taking that fool's leap. The entire deck is the fool's leap. It's about living your best life, following your heart. It doesn't matter what other people say. It doesn't matter what you believe about yourself. It doesn't matter, your self-limiting beliefs, all that. Some of these are portrait, by the way, instead of, landscape instead of portrait cards, which is kind of cool. The artwork is amazing, by the way. But yeah, this is all about testing your own boundaries. What do you think you're actually capable of? But what are you really capable of versus what you think? This is all about going within and challenging yourself for growth. And I think this is a perfect deck for that. So amazing. Oh, so amazing. Actually, I remember that before I made the move to Arizona from San Diego, this was, I think, one of the final cards I pulled. So I just see this person kind of leaving for what looks like a desert wasteland, but so much has come from it, so much abundance. So beautiful, beautiful. All right, so that's for our fellow Sagittarians. And we go into our final 3 decks, and we are hitting up Capricorn. Capricorn's keywords are stability and reflection. So the most stable deck I could feel that I have is the Earth Power Oracle. Now this one is not that gentle earthiness like I think sometimes the Pagan Otherworlds, which is why I used Pagan Otherworlds for Taurus, as I feel Taurus can be somewhat gentle. Earthy, grounded, but gentle. Capricorn, on the other hand, I feel has a grounded, powerful nature, very powerful, and that's what this deck exudes to me in its energy, its messages, the imagery, and it's got a great guidebook as well. I do enjoy glancing through the guidebooks, and I do enjoy the wonderful writings sometimes of the authors, and so I'll want to go back and reflect on the writings, maybe do a bit of journaling, even though if I were doing, let's say, client readings, I'm not using my guidebooks, I'm using my decks that I am intuitively linked to. But if I'm just doing some things personally, you know, I'll do a bit of intuition. Like, let's say if I pull this card, first, what am I feeling from this? And then I open up the guidebook and read about some things that might, I don't know, spark some journal prompts, some things that I can look more deeply into. So, wonderful, powerful Capricorn energy that I get from this deck. Okay, so that is the Earth Power Oracle, again for Capricorn's stability and reflection. And the second to last deck goes to Aquarius, independence and freedom. And for that, I have chosen my best friend's deck, my best friend who created this tag. So the hashtag one card for each sign, and she created the I Don't Care Oracle. That doesn't scream independence and freedom. This is her very first independently published deck. I always think that the cover kind of looks like me just a little bit. But this is her, you know, screaming, I don't care. You know, I do what I want. I go where my heart leads me. And hopefully this will help you to follow your heart as well. But yeah, this one is definitely about independence, about just being free to be you, to think as you wish, to speak as you wish, to do as you wish. If it harm none, so let it be. And that's what I feel like her deck is literally screaming. With the rebel yell, she want more, more, more. Such a power, such a freedom to it, and a funness. Okay, it definitely embodies my best friend to a T. Okay, the final deck that we have is for Pisces, and that is Dream. And the deck that I have chosen is actually my deck. So this is my Wally's World Oracle, which I have the link down below if you are interested. But the keyword for Pisces is dream. Now the reason I have chosen my Wally's World Oracle is because it did come to me in a dream. And I also intuited a lot of the information from meditation, from that dreamlike state. And so the borders, the hemimorphite that's on the back, the incorporation of my roses, certain symbols, the triangles and the circles, the gilded edging, you know, I wanted gold for the properties that gold stands for. Everything came from that dreamlike state. This has, I think, a good balance of watery energy, grounded energy, spiritual energy, and a lot of humanity in it. A lot of these images are mine, but many of the other images were donated from our beautiful community. So it's kind of like our deck. We all created this together. This is all of our sacred spaces. So in those places, people go there. Some people have gone there physically, but this allows you to go there in that dreamlike state, in meditation, astral travel, your higher self. So to me, this deck definitely is dream. It definitely embodies Pisces. And there you go. All right, so that is my Wally's World Oracle. Let's go ahead and actually pull a card for you guys before we end this. Oh, so actually this is a bell that is found at a now closed Buddhist monastery, and this can be found, I believe it's in Kauai, but this picture was not taken by me. It was actually taken by one of my moderators, and just the energy is just beautiful. But with this, I'm getting, you know, that the bell is ringing. Many of us have been called to begin working on our shadows if we haven't done so already, like some of the bigger shadows. Like, you know, we've been doing our self-care, self-work little by little, but it seems like the calling is huge this year of like, hey, this is the year to balance everything. As that beautiful bell rings, it clears out negativity. This is the year of clearing up many of those huge blockages, those self-limiting beliefs, those blocks that we put up for ourselves because of certain fears. This is the year to really get rid of that, because when we get rid of that, we start seeing things for what they really are and not coated with the fear and blockages that we carry within us. So let that bell ring. Can you ring my bell? Ring my bell. All right. All right, guys, those were all 12 of the decks that I have chosen for each of the zodiac signs for hashtag one deck for each sign, created by Steph over at Journal de Femme Moderne at Spirituelle Steph. So thank you, Steph, for creating this for us. This was a whole lot of fun. I hope you guys jump in on this too. Like I said, I have linked her original video down below. I've also copy and pasted her keywords for each of the zodiac sign if you do feel like jumping in on this. And yeah, thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, don't forget to give this a thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe, and don't forget to click that ding, ding, ding notification bell for more videos just like this. And if you would like to catch a reading from me, head over to www.kittenswaitsandtarot.com. All of my other links are down below for the newsletter, Leon Mystery School, Patreon, all of that good stuff. Oh, and don't forget to check out Desert Cauldron. We're bringing some goodies back from Tucson. We're actually headed over to Tucson again tomorrow over at the Gem Show. This is actually one of the beauties that I brought back. No, this one is not going to be included in Desert Cauldron, but James did end up buying some smaller celestial amethyst. This actually celestial amethyst comes from Kenya, from the Boba mine out there in Kitui County, and this is the first type of crystals that they have pulled from that mine. So this is a very rare type of crystal, hasn't been found yet anywhere else. So very high vibe and powerful energy, and James was able to get his hands on some of the smaller crystals so that he could sell them in his shop. But might bring some over to Desert Cauldron as well. So definitely check out some of the new goodies that we have. We've listed a lot of things on our Instagram for people to try and snatch up before we actually put them in the shop. So definitely go check that out. All right, so that's it for me, spiritual homies. I will catch you later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.